So this video is about Law Talk with Mike. He made a video, reaction video to my video about proof that I beat my eviction. So, of course, after reading all the troll comments, which don't be meaning nothing, it's basically saying that I used the COVID eviction moratorium to stop my eviction. Now, this is the most hilarious thing that I be reading for real. Like I said, the troll comments, they don't bother me because y'all know what y'all could do for real. And even the people that make reaction videos, y'all could go ahead. Y'all could do whatever y'all want. Y'all could say whatever y'all want. You feel me? Like, the point is that the reaction videos don't bother me because when I get the court paperwork showing that I'm right and I upload it, they're not going to respond. So they always respond if the courts go against me. And even if the courts go against me, it's a due process violation. As long as I ask for proof of claim under penalty of perjury, then if they don't send me proof, it's a due process violation to rule against me. So y'all not noticing that. Let me bring up Artie's corporate fiction again. Well, Artie's corporate fiction, he hopped on my comment saying that he wasn't surprised that my motion or my court case was dismissed from my car, even though it's appealed. And the judge wasn't trying to hear anything I had to say for real. Y'all had to realize that I'm exposing what they do. None of this bothers me for real. I can appeal. At the end of the day, no matter how much they be like, oh, it ain't real, or oh, you're a U.S. citizen, you gotta prove it. If I don't say I'm a U.S. citizen, you gotta prove I'm a U.S. citizen. So you need me to say it in order to prove it. My paperwork was done as a representative of a U.S. citizen, so they ignore all my paperwork because they know that it goes against them. They don't want to expose that accepted for value or not having a title is real. The beautiful part about it is, even like I said, them ruling against me, them taking my car, the trolling comments, none of that matters to me at all. Only thing I'm worried about is the courts. Now, like I said, there have been times where the courts have been honorable. When they said that motion was moot for the video that I'm even speaking on about the eviction, they were being honorable. When I went into court about the video, when there was a minute long about me getting pulled over with no tags, when I walked in and they said no process, they were being honorable. You cannot use a COVID excuse for any of my paperwork because none of my paperwork is under federal or state jurisdiction. The state COVID moratorium is under state law. The federal moratorium is under federal law. My accepted for value paperwork is foreign to the federal and state government. Me riding around with no tags is foreign to the federal and state government. Me being a representative is foreign to the federal and state government. So, what y'all don't understand is that if I didn't put in the defense, the tenant would have got evicted. You can look at it, like I said, y'all can look it up right now. Maryland is not stopping state evictions unless you get an order from something saying that you can't afford to pay rent. Maryland's eviction moratorium was based on failure to pay rent. See, what y'all understand is that there's 3 claims to an eviction: a breach of lease, failure to pay rent, or a tenant holding over. In the case that I'm working on, it's a tenant holding over and a failure to pay rent. Now, because there is a possession judgment, then I'm going to keep getting warrants of restitutions. The warrant of restitution leads to the eviction notice, and the eviction notice leads to the eviction. So, if every warrant of restitution gets canceled because I keep stamping them with accepted for value, then how am I using a defense that's pertaining to COVID-19? My defense is the accepted for value stamp. It's not the COVID. I'll put it like this. If y'all haven't even looked this up. Y'all clearly haven't looked this up. Because if I wanted to use the COVID moratorium on a federal level, I had to get something on the penalty of perjury from the CDC saying that I meet the qualifications to apply for a federal moratorium. If I did a Maryland moratorium, I would have to get something on the penalty of perjury saying that my income has been affected by COVID-19. I don't have any reported income. I didn't use that as a defense to stop the eviction. And if I use that as a defense to stop the eviction, I wouldn't be making these videos because as soon as the moratorium's over, then I'm evicted. So y'all don't realize that the accepted for value has nothing to do with the moratorium. I stopped the eviction because they can't evict me. If you look the case up, it says warrant for restitution request for service is canceled. They could send me 1 million warrant of restitutions. As long as I keep a stamp on them accepted for value, they're going to get canceled. And that's the whole point. Like I said, the apartment complex owns the apartment. But when it was rented to the tenant, it gave up possession. It has a possession judgment, but in order to get the apartment back, you have to go through the warrant of restitution with no response. You have to go through the eviction notice with no response. And then they come in and you're evicted. So, and then like I said, with Law Talk with Mike, y'all gotta realize that this is for the people that got sense. Because I realize the trolls I see beside y'all on for real. Y'all gotta realize y'all can't pick and choose my videos. You gotta tie them all in together. That video that Law Talk with Mike did, there was a video before that saying that the motion was moot. And there's a video after that showing the motion to vacate that I used and the accepted for value warrant of restitution, which I used to stop the first one. And it's the same stamp that I'm going to use to stop all of them. So I live here rent-free. All I have to do is stamp all the warrants of restitutions. And then if I decide I don't want to live here no more, considering they already got a possession judgment, all I had to do was just don't stamp the warrant of restitutions no more. So the only person that could put me out is me. And guess what? The leasing office knows I live here. I don't have to be on the lease. If I'm the agent for the tenant and you can't put the tenant out, how you going to put me out? The same paperwork that I could use to keep the tenant from getting put out is the same paperwork I could use to keep me from getting put out. I'm the agent for the tenant. If they can't put out the tenant, they definitely can't put me out. They know I live here, rent-free. I might not have no public rights. I might have to go to the tenant to talk to the leasing office because the tenant and the leasing office are in the corporate United States. They're in the state of Maryland. The tenant's in the state of Maryland and the leasing office in the state of Maryland. So I need the tenant to talk to the leasing office. Because I'm not in the corporate United States, because I'm in Maryland and not in the state of Maryland, they're not going to listen to me. So that's not a problem. I can understand that. I can go to the tenant and just ask the tenant to do this for me. And then guess what? That's just because the spot's in the tenant's name. If I had the spot in my name, I would have got the same thing. They wouldn't be able to put me out. I just would have been able to talk to the leasing office versus the tenant. Plus, this is a tenant holding over case. So, there's no more rent. They're not going to, like I said, even if they would accept rent to start a new lease, there's no rent being paid. Like, I'm actually about to send a letter to the leasing office getting the tenant's rent back, because what people don't understand is that the tenant holds, not the tenant, the leasing office holds all the rent for the tenant. Why? Because the rent is a tax. The tenant has an account with the leasing office with the tenant's name on it that has an accountant for all the rent that was paid during that time period. The rent is a tax. It is a loan. Y'all need to know the difference between a gift and a loan. If I let somebody hold $20 and I don't ask for it back, it's a gift. But if I ask for it back, it's a loan. So the tenant paid all the money in rent. So right now, it's considered a gift to the IRS. If you don't believe me, look it up. If I request on behalf of the tenant their rent back, now it's a loan. See, y'all don't realize that the money y'all get to the United States, you can get back because you're the representative. But I don't want to get too much off topic. Like I said, no eviction moratorium is stopping this eviction. I didn't use that defense. I had to use a defense to get the moratorium to apply. And then when the moratorium ends, that defense ends. My defense was not based on the moratorium. It was based on the fact that I stamped the warrant of restitution to set it for value. I want to see somebody make a reaction video about this. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to make a video as soon as they respond. It's going to say on case search again, court has entered judgment. The motion is moot. And if y'all still want to make reaction videos after that, just know that every time I get a warrant of restitution, I'm going to make a video and I'm going to keep showing y'all. And like I said, I got reasonable rates. I just become your agent. I'm a private agent. I stop all evictions and I get you your rent money back. Now, like I said, it's a business and I'm selling it and it's tax free. And I want y'all to send that to every government agent and see if they can fuck with me. Because I guarantee you they can't. So, like I said, y'all don't want to believe it's real. That's perfectly fine with me. It has nothing to do with how I'm living. I'm living good, and I don't even need the money. This is to help y'all. Y'all want to pay rent, which is a tax. Like I said, U.S. citizens pay taxes. So if you pay rent, you pay taxes. So you're a U.S. citizen. So we not the same. Me stamping that warrant of restitution, that's how I pay taxes. I'm a representative of Khalid. I'm a representative of a U.S. citizen. That's how I pay taxes. I stamp my shit. Y'all send in checks and money orders and pay that shit out your account. And y'all don't even know that y'all could even request it back. If that's the life you want to live, because that's the life that we've been living for some years, and that's a slave life, enjoy it. Enjoy the slave life. That slave life was never nothing to me. That's what motivated me to do this. And y'all act like it's not a bunch of people who don't see what I'm saying, and they're going to eventually see, like, the courts is not going to be able to rule against me. And if they do, I'm just going to appeal it because it's a due process violation. As long as it's a due process violation, it's a constitutional violation, I can get it appealed until they bow down. This is a commercial right. I don't have no problem fighting for my rights. I mean, it is a right. I'm right. Y'all not going to send me an affidavit saying I'm wrong, so I'll fight. I'll play this long enough fighting. I'm in here rent-free. So, like I said, I enjoy the reaction videos. I don't care about the trolling. I don't care about the comments. Y'all got dead family members that y'all need to worry about. Take that issue up with them, you feel me? But like I said, at the end of the day, I'm here rent-free. Y'all can't do nothing about it. The courts can't do nothing about it. So, I got reasonable rates. I could charge y'all the high. Like, y'all know how much this information worth? I could charge y'all the high. But I don't care. Y'all broke to me anyway. So. But like I said, and all the negative energy, that's toward the trolls. That's not toward anybody who's really genuinely interested in what I'm talking about. Because like I said, this is in the Constitution. This is in case law. This is in contract law. This is on the UCC website. I done put all the definitions to everything I'm saying in the comments. I don't make arguments. So everybody keep using arguments. Lawyers make arguments. U.S. citizens make arguments. Sovereign citizens make arguments. I don't make any arguments. I make a claim, and then I prove my claim, and then ask the person who I'm making the claim against to prove me wrong under penalty of perjury. They don't prove me wrong, and I win. There is no arguing. It's offer, counteroffer, acceptance. That's it. It's contract law. I've been dealing in contract law. Y'all don't realize the lease is a contract. The application for a title is a contract. Transportation is a contract. The IRS and the taxes that you pay is a contract. The W-4 is a contract. The sales tax is a contract. Everything is a contract. But y'all want to say it ain't a contract. I cover my ears to all that for real. Like I said, no eviction moratorium is stopping anything I'm doing for real. If y'all want to get on, let me know.